The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and it's Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for the toy news, action figure news of the week. The stuff that interested me this week that hopefully interests you. And there was a lot of crazy stuff going on this week, a lot of toy announcements, and a lot of discussion that we got to get into today in this very video. A lot of talk out there in the old interwebs about the future of the AEW Jazwares toy line. I'm going to give my 2 cents. I'm going to take that business step back, and we're going to talk all about that in this very video, on top of all the new action figure news for this week. But as usual, we got to knock out some housekeeping first, of course. Don't forget about the Patreon channel. Early access to videos like this. You guys get the drill by now. But this month's giveaway, the month of December, we got 2 giveaways for you Patreon members. We're giving away the G.I. Joe Classified Snake Eyes wave. The entire wave will go to 1 viewer. The other giveaway is going to be the Prophet Director. Some call him Pimp Daddy Destro G.I. Joe Classified, fan channel exclusive from about a year ago. So 2 chances to win this month via the old Patreon channels. Thank you guys for your support there. And also this week, we've got a special sponsor. Yes, you heard that right. We got a sponsor of Toy News Video this week, and it is Into the AM Clothing Company. They've been around for 10 years or so now. I'm actually wearing one of their shirts right now. You guys know, if anybody loves a good t-shirt, it is your boy Kyle. You guys, I'm a little bit known for my t-shirt collection, and Into the AM has partnered with the channel here to get a deal on some t-shirts, as well as going into the am.com/Kyle and using discount code Kyle. You can save 10% on all their t-shirts out there. Some really cool ones, a very heavy metal inspired one with a dash of color here. You guys know me, like I said, I'm all about the t-shirts, as you guys see in all the videos, and I want to thank Into the AM for sponsoring this very video. Go to their website, check them out. Tons of t-shirts to choose from, and like I said, great quality, nice, soft quality t-shirts. Don't get those old mom and pop shirts that shrink in the wash, things like that. You need ones like this that are nice, soft, good quality t-shirts. And that is Into the AM. So thank you again, Into the AM, for sponsoring this week's toy news video. So let's get into it. Let's get into some toy news discussion this week. And what a week. And I guess we'll kick it off. We'll start off hot with the old business hat. We're going to talk AEW Jazwares figures. There's been a lot of chirping out there. Chirping from all corners. What's going on with AEW? They're starting to peg warm. We haven't had announcements, things like that. And I figured we'd break it down in this very video. And I think what really took it over to the next level and got everybody concerned and posts going everywhere was Ringside Collectibles had a huge sale, and it's going on right now as I'm filming this. I think Thursday night they posted that, or no, Wednesday night this week they posted, and it was a huge AEW Jazwares sale going on. I mean, you got figures down to $3.99. Yeah, $3.99. And that sounded the alarm for many people, saying this line is in trouble, AEW is in trouble, what's going to happen? Well, some of you eagle-eyed and people that had your ears perked up and have been watching these videos, the Toy News weekly purchases here on the channel for the last 2 years, you probably took that business step back yourself and really explained this. And we've been talking about this for 8 months now. We've been talking about this very moment. Here it is slapping us in the face, and I think some of us forgot how the world works, how the world operates a little bit sometimes. And now let's talk about Ringside first. Okay, yeah, Ringside has a sale. Guess what? They've had huge sales for Thanksgiving, Cyber Monday, 1, 2, 3s. They've done this kind of stuff for years. This is the first time they've said, hey, it's an AEW sale. But you know what? Last year was the first year they did Cyber Monday 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's business. Moving forward, trying to find new ideas, new avenues to capture some sales. Yes, they did. And then if you compare that AEW, well, guess what? A lot of Mattel Elites, Basics, things like that, they're just as cheap. So this isn't like foreign ground. This isn't things we haven't seen before. This is just par of the course Ringside end of the year sales, and it's matching up a lot with some of the Mattel stuff. That being said, I understand why people are kind of worked up and like, what the heck is going on? Because guess what? We haven't seen Unrivaled 12. We haven't seen Unmatched 6. Those should have been out by now. Well, should they have been out by now? I don't know if it was ever totally said that, but we did see at the beginning of fall, I want to say let's call it September, we did get Unmatched Series 5 and Unrivaled Series 11, basically back-to-back, 2 weeks in between, not even 2 weeks in between. So it was basically 1 week was one week is the next. Those should have probably been spaced out, and I think what is going on right now is a little bit of a dark period, and there's some reasons for that. We're going to get into those, but a little bit of a dark period where distribution got hot and heavy, moved really quick to ringside, and then you have a delay, because guess what? Maybe that Unmatched or Unrivaled set should have been delayed about a month to stagger it out, because that is the goal of the Jazwares team. Your goal is they want a new set like every single month out there on the pegs. Well, sometimes shipping, distribution, we know how crazy this world is on shipping and distribution right now. They got kind of bunched up together, came out together, and I don't think that was how the Jazwares team really wanted it to be, but that's how it went. And of course, ringside, the minute they're going to get something, guess what? They are a business. They are not a nonprofit. They're going to push that out to their customers. They want to get that stuff turning and burning, and they want to put money in their pocket like everybody else does. But there is some reasons, some things that have been going on, and I know a lot of people are worked up about the Jazwares, but I don't think the line is in any trouble at all. No more so than any other toy line for the most part out there. I think it is just a little bit of shipping stuff, and here's some of the reasons and excuses. Yeah, we'll call excuses, whatever you want to call them. Some people will say these are excuses. But how do we know Jazwares hasn't picked up a new factory? They're a company that has had to switch factories a few times because of quality issues. Now, have we seen quality issues? Well, did you see the top 5 list on the channel of the most disappointing wrestling figure things from 2022? Number 1, issues with Jazwares staining. Who knows? I'm trying to believe, I'm believing the best I can that Jazwares is working to improve some of the product. Maybe they're going to a new factory, working some of that, as they have been known, like I said, to switch factories in the past, maybe trying to get away from this staining. That obviously will cause delays. We see it with Super 7 all the time when they switch factories. So that is a possibility. That's just kind of something spitballing there. But one thing we do know for certain, watch the news, COVID issues in China are a big thing. They're trying to lock down China. The China people are revolting. The Chinese have had enough of being locked down and they want out. So we're seeing some of that play out in the news. That is affecting a lot of factories, a lot of other things. So you got shutdowns in China. That is causing supply chain issues on top of that. I mean, anytime you're locked down, I don't care if it's China or if it's Chicago, Illinois, you're going to have some issues in supply chain. So that is part of it, as we do know the factories, China, everything coming over here. I think that could be part of the delays as well. I mean, that all does play into stuff. And then the other thing is tons of stuff all at once kind of catching up, almost like a bottleneck out there. Now, you guys see my action figure hunts. I'm traveling an 8-state area on a fairly regular basis. We've seen Rio out there since 2020. Oh, never change, never leave, Rio. I want to see you forever. I want to see you deep into 2023, I hope. But we're seeing some of that, and we're seeing some of those peg warmers eat up space. So you got the Rios, the Santana Ortizes, the Britt Bakers, the Ty Contis, some of those perennial peg warmers hogging some space, slowing down, bottlenecking some product. And let's be honest, this is the thing, the major thing. We've talked about this for 8 months probably now. What did I say was going to happen this holiday season? I said everybody orders about a year out. The Targets, Walmarts, Ringside Collectibles, Entertainment Earth, they order way out because toys and a lot of things like that, they are made a year in advance for the most part. It's not like food. That pack of bread, guess what? That was baked this week. That's on the shelves during that week. Toys aren't that way. They come a long way, most of the time from factories in China, things like that. So Walmarts, Targets, all of them, they have to get their orders together. Well, when the orders were getting put together for this holiday season, they were coming off one of the biggest holiday seasons ever in toys and action figures. So what did that Walmart, Target, Ringside collectible buyer do? I want more product than ever before. They always believe, and I don't care what company you are, Walmart, Target, Walgreens, whatever, they believe the good times are always going to be rolling. Oh, we're rolling in it. We're selling at a breakneck pace. It's a little bit of a magic 8-ball. It'll predict the future, and most of the time they hedge their bets that, hey, we're going to need more product than ever. And that's what Walmart's, Target's, Ringside, everybody said, we want more product. Well, we saw inflation. Over the last year, since those orders went in, what has changed? Well, yeah, inflation. People don't have as much money. People are scrapping together, trying to pay their bills and all the normal stuff. And we know, we've seen it in the media, toys have went to the side, and that's just the way it goes. People need to pay their gas bill, their car, their home. They got to eat before they have toys. And that's what we're seeing right here. with Jazwares and a lot of other companies is we've seen some of the deepest discounts we've ever seen in action figures over the last couple of weeks. Absolutely ridiculous pricing. Ringside, no different. Guess what? They ordered a lot of AEW, and we got to be honest, the majority of the AEW buyers compared to Mattel probably understand Ringside better because AEW is a younger audience. It's not always for kids. There's probably way more teens and adults watching the AEW product than children. I think Mattel and the WWE have more children watching. So a lot of those things are bought at the Walmarts, Targets of the world. AEW is bought at Walmart's, Targets as well, but I think a lot of the hardcore fan base knows about things like Ringside Collectibles, where the lesser known fan base does not. So obviously, you're going to sell more AEW figures at Ringside. So they obviously over-ordered. That's what happens in business. And what do? You got to cut your losses, get rid of the product that's heavy in your warehouse. Obviously, warehouse space costs a lot of money. You don't want that eaten up stuff that's never going to turn. So that's what Ringside's doing. They're just giving a sale. They're passing on the deals to you guys. You got to get a deal. It's a little bit of that long game. So there's a big mixture of things. But the biggest thing is all these companies, Targets, Walmarts, Ringsides, Entertainment Earth, you name it, over-ordering based on the demand. The demand is not there. So we're seeing huge discounts now. You're going to see even more discounts after Christmas is over. I think that's going to be the sweetest spot we've ever seen after the holidays. But guess what? Everything is going to reset itself. And we all complained back in the day, there's never anything on the pegs, there's no toys, there's no toys. How do you think those buyers at Walmart, Target, and Ringside are going to answer this year's Christmas season? It wasn't as good as they hoped it would be, so guess what? They're going to dial it back next year. And remember pre-COVID, everybody was saying there's nothing on the pegs, nothing on the pegs. We are on the dawn of that again in 2023. That is my prediction. We're going to start seeing not as much product out on the shelves because instead of ordering 100 cases of this or whatever, just throwing a number out there, Target says, okay, I want 100 in 2021. Guess what? I want 25 next year. We're going to see stuff be a little bit rare. Maybe one case goes in and you never see another case, just back to the old days. And Ringside, they're still going to have all the stuff you want. Of course, they'll have more than most places, but I guarantee you they're not ordering in the abundance they are right now of the AEW figures. And let's be honest, some of the Mattel stuff, there's a lot of those Mattel figures that are just as cheap as the AEW. It's not just picking on AEW here. So we're going to see a reset in 2023, and I guarantee we're going to see a lot of people complaining next year that, gosh, that set just came out and it came and went really quick and now it's absorbent prices on eBay. People are going to complain about that because guess what? The product, it's supply and demand, and they're trying to reset that because right now there is way too much supply to the demand. So that's my quick little business talk. But, you know, people are saying, where's the AEW figures? Where's the AEW figures? We've still been bombarded with AEW figures as of late. I put a quick note down here. Here is everything that is shipped here or is going to ship any day now in the last month or two, let's call it. So we had Kenny Omega Street Fighter GameStop exclusive. MJF, the Pro Wrestling Tees AEW Shop exclusive. Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, Target exclusive figures. Cody, Walmart exclusive Supreme Series 1 and Supreme Series 2. The Sting plus Ring, the Ringside Collectible Pack. Thunder Rosa, Blood and Guts Ringside Collectible Pack. We got 3 exclusive Ringside Collectible announcers from AEW. We got Owen Hart, first time in the line. We got the CM Punk Ice Cream Pack. We got CM Punk, Adam Hangman Page Walmart exclusive sets out there. We got the Luchasaurus Jungle Boy Amazon 2-pack, and we got the Darby Allin Sting Amazon 2-pack. So there has been a plethora of products shown our way. Maybe people are just passing on it, but I think people are complaining, where's Unmatched, where's Unrivaled? Well, it all mixes together. It's all the big sweet science there. So there is no lack of AEW product, as you can see by that list I just ran down, and I do expect the next Unmatched, the next Unrivaled, who knows, probably January. Let Ringside, let these other retailers clean up a little bit, and let's try to get reset on everything. So there is my TED Talk. There is the old business hat. Agree with it if you want, or disagree, whatever you want to do. But that is my take, and a lot of you guys have reached out on social media asking, Kyle, what's your take on this? So I wanted to make sure I put that out here right at the beginning of our toy news for the week. But now let's dive into some actual announcements, some new stuff this week, and we might as well keep it in the wrestling headspace. We did see our good friend Zombie Sailor. He came in hot, and this is all business 101 once again. he did announce here in the next week or two we're going to have a pre-order for the Johnny Gargano Zombie Sailor retro style figure. Well, this makes a lot of sense. Sounds like he has to get all of his pre-orders in by December 31st because obviously a new year starts, and I'm sure it has something to do with the legalities of the WWE contract with Johnny Gargano. So Zombie's doing what any of us would do is, hey, I want to get my pre-orders, want to get all that in before I lose the license to him, because he obviously has invested money in this, as we did see the prototypes there. So if you're looking for Johnny Gargano, you'll have to get your pre-order here in the next couple of weeks, because I don't expect a Mattel Retro from him anytime soon. So this is your best chance and only chance, and this sounds like this is the only time. So I have a feeling this will be a heavy one on the aftermarket down the road. So stay tuned for that, I guess. So we did have that, and then speaking of retro figures, Cella Toys, which I guess now is Wrestling Trader, they did show some pretty promotional images of a little BWO action. Of course, we got Blue Meanie back in the day, but we did see Hollywood Nova, and we did see Big Stevie Cool. I can't wait for those. We did unbox some Cellas on the channel this week, to a little mixed bag, but I love the BWO, especially Big Stevie Cool, one of my all-time favorites from ECW, so we did see those this week. We also saw Foco bobbleheads. You guys know I dabble in a bobblehead or two from time to time. We did see from Foco the Mega Powers. Everything's coming up Mega Powers to finish off 2022. Of course, we got the Ringside Collectible exclusive. Use discount code Kyle, save 10%, as I believe that is back in stock at Ringside. But for you Mega Power maniacs, now you got the bobblehead with the handshake. That is a pretty cool one. Probably not for me, but it is really cool. I can admire that from afar. Looking really, really good there. And then Ringside Collectibles, they teased this months ago. Gosh, probably almost a year ago, I would think. But it is Minoru Suzuki, the Storm Collectibles, Ringside Collectible exclusive. Very interesting. As you guys remember, Storm Collectibles made an announcement, I don't know how many months ago, but basically saying Big Bad Toy Store is the only place that will have Storm Collectible figures in the United States going forward. So not really sure how this got into Ringside, or if that doesn't count wrestling, or what the legalities and everything is here, or maybe this is, you know, one of those things that was signed on for before this thing with Big Bad Toy Store. Either way, Ringside Collectibles is going to have Minoru Suzuki. I know a lot of people will want that, including myself. I'm not the hugest Suzuki guy, but I really do like those Storm wrestling figures. I really like those Ligers. I'll put him with those. It will look pretty good. And the Hogans, next level. We talked about those on the channel before. So if you're into Storm Collectible wrestling, into Minoru Suzuki, Ringside Collectibles, once again, that's going to be your place for that one. Stay tuned. You're going to want to pick that up. We have a little extra news this week, some interesting non-wrestling news. Dorkside Toys. You know, there's the Big Bad Toy Stores, there's the Entertainment Earths, definitely the Ringside Collectibles, and then Dorkside Toys. I always think those are kind of the big four of the non-Walmarts, non-Targets of the world, the real, like, toy companies out there. And we did hear a lot of rumblings the last few weeks, maybe even months, saying Dorkside Toys is on their last legs. They're going under. Well, it seems to be official that they are closing their doors. I'm sure the Ringsides, Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Stores of the world, they're probably not crying, because guess what? That internet community that goes there, they're going to go to one of those places, or maybe all three of those places. So they're going to get a bump in business at those places where Dorkside kind of goes by the wayside. It's not easy running a toy business. It goes back to what we talked about in the AEW stuff. Changing fashions, people not having the money, and these little companies are just really making it almost like you'd say paycheck to paycheck. Man, when the business drops off and drops and cuts a wall like we've seen, that really hurts, and that's where businesses go out of business, and that's what we're seeing, unfortunately, with Dorkside Toys. So hopefully everybody got squared up over there. I've never really used them. I maybe ordered a Valaverse figure from them one time, but I've never really used Dorkside Toys. So I guess I don't have any issues, but I know some people have credits and things like that, that is definitely a bummer. I understand that for sure. We also saw from McFarlane Toys this week. We talked about it a little bit last week. They did show some promo images for the Eradicator, and when I think of the Eradicator, I think of the Death of Superman time frame. That was my prime Superman reading time. And I say it again, I'll say it again, I'm going to put it out there into the galaxy. Man, we need the Death of Superman line from McFarlane Toys. Why have we not seen that with all the different Supermen, things like that? That would be one I would pick up in a heartbeat. Maybe build a big-time Doomsday. We got a quasi-Doomsday a few years ago, but let's get a Build-A-Figure big-time Doomsday. Let's put that set out there. I hope to see that in 2023. We'll see what happens with that. Kino coming to us finally. We knew it was coming. Well, we got a little sculpt action this week. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. Looks like he's going to have his own Vespa scooter, so it's going to be a bit of a deluxe package, it seems to be here. But we are getting Kino in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line. That should be a pretty cool one there. And then we did get the surprise last, I want to say it was last Saturday. As the Four Horsemen, of course, the Mythic Legions crew, they dropped their figure Obscura. Hopefully I said that right. As remember last year we got Krampus as kind of the surprise drop. Well, this time we got Santa Claus. And unfortunately, I don't know about unfortunately, but it didn't sell out quite as fast as Krampus. And it goes back to, once again, I think a lot of people only have certain funds and they're not diving into a lot of things. As we did not see these as an immediate sellout like we usually do with some of these Mythic Legion one-day drops. But we have Santa Claus, the figure Obscura this year. Very cool, of course, to get a figure of Santa Claus. Where's the Big Bad Toy Store Naughty or Nice Santas? I was hoping we'd have that before Christmas this year. Not sure that's going to be in the cards, but we'll see. But we did get Santa Claus from the Mythic Legions. Great to square off against Krampus or a decoration, things like that. This is one of those ones I'll probably pull out every once a year or something for my Christmas decorations, and that's where it's going to be. And I do have that. It did come. I will unbox it on the channel, as you can imagine. So if you're into Santa Claus, that is out there. It is shipping now if you did pre-order. I did get into the 8 a.m. pre-order, then they did an 8 p.m. for both time zones of all across the world, so everybody kind of have a fair chance at one of these. But it didn't seem like it's sold out right away. So a very, very interesting time with the old figure Obscura Store Horsemen. Four Horsemen Mythic Legion set there. So there's that one. Now, another big thing this week was Marvel Legends Hasbro team live announcement, live stream on Tuesday on YouTube, kind of finishing up the year. Of course, they went through their best of list, and you guys know right here on the channel, all kinds of best of lists for the year end. We've already seen a bunch of them I've put out there. Patreon members going to get them earlier than anybody else, but we got a lot of best of stuff, as it does slow down with new figure releases usually around this time of year, and we're going to pepper in a lot of those best of lists to finish off the year and maybe even into the first week of the year, so stay tuned for that. But they also talked about some stuff that we knew was coming, but we got the pre-orders, and pre-orders went up for Thursday for the majority of these. And what did we see? We saw the pretty announcement, the pretty promo pictures of the Blob, one I've been waiting for. We talked about this maybe a month ago when it leaked out. Man, if you have that old Blob, now is the time to sell, because you're going to get the most money you'll ever get out of it right now, because it will drop in price with this new one. Even if they're a little bit different, it's still going to drop the price down. We know that. So Blob is up there. Day one pre-order for me. That could be one of my top figures for 2023 going forward. So I can't wait for that one. We also saw X-Men 3-packs. Of course, it is an anniversary of the Jim Lee X-Men, so they're going to have a lot of X-Men stuff next year. Once again, I'm here for that. I'm a 90s X-Men kid. I'm here for that. We got Banshee, Psylocke, and Gambit. Then the other 3-pack being Forge, Storm, and Jubilee. Jubilee being the weak link of the 6, if you ask me. We also know Wolverine is coming on a traditional retro card. So we're going to be able to complete that team right away. I think that is really cool. A lot of people grumbling at the price point, around $75 for those 3-packs. I get it, it's expensive, but it's turning into an expensive hobby and gets more expensive every single day, it seems like. But these are fan channel exclusives. They're not Walmart, Target releases, so there's always a little bit of extra tax to those. But a 3-pack, being able to complete that team really quick, I do really like the idea of that one. So those did all go up for pre-order. They also announced going up for pre-order in the future, Kraven on the Walmart retro card, Spider-Man anniversary style carding. That should be an interesting one. I already have a couple of Kravens in my collection, but there's something about that sweet, sweet animated style figures that I absolutely love. Once again, being a 90s comics kid, I was all into the Spider-Man animated series, Spider-Man comic book around that time, so Kraven was a big deal. I will be picking this up for my animated series shelving, or shelf, I should say. And then we did have Spider-Man, the PS5, I guess PS5 versions. I'm not a video game guy, as much as I would like to be, I am not. But we did see that. That is going to be a fan channel exclusive coming sooner rather than later. A mixed bag on that one. That was probably the worst announcement for me, just not being a gamer and stuff. But it is a cool enough looking figure, and I will be picking it up as well. But then they did dangle a little carrot out there of a future wave, of course, an X-Men related wave, and it is, of course, going to have a Build-A-Figure. They didn't say who the Build-A-Figure is, but I have a feeling it's going to be Chode from the Starjammers by the kind of Easter egg they put in at the end of the video. Now, if you guys go back like 2-3 months ago, I did the top 20 most wanted Marvel Legend X-Men Toy Biz figures from back in the day. Of course, once again, 90s kid collecting the X-Men Toy Biz figures. Who do I want to see represented in the Marvel Legends line? Well, Chode was right there. Another guy, Corsair. They're finally giving us that Corsair. That's probably my most wanted Marvel Legend at this point, so I'm very excited to get the father of Cyclops in the line. Give me all the Starjammers. I loved the Starjammers. Once again, going back to the X-Men animated series, I loved that story arc, loved that those episodes. So very happy to get Corsair. Hoping it's Chode as the Build-A-Figure. It really does point to that with that little weasel-looking character, whatever you want to call it, cat-looking character. But they also announced another guy I was hoping for, Generation X. Give us some of those Generation X guys. So we did see Chamber, a very cool looking figure. We did see Monet. We did see Kid Omega, and I'm not familiar with Kid Omega. I don't think I know him at all, so that's an interesting one. We also saw a character called Fang. It looks like some reuse from that old Wolverine Sabretooth body, that recent Sabretooth. But very interesting Fang. I could see us getting a Wolverine like that down the road as well. We also saw Emma Frost and Cyclops from the Astonishing X-Men to kind of round out the wave a little bit. Cyclops one, probably that's the weak link of the bunch, I think, for me, which is interesting to say. But very, very cool we're getting those Legends. A lot of good announcements out of that. A lot of stuff we're going to see into 2023. It's going to be a big, big time year in 2023 for X-Men Marvel Legends figures. And I'm here for it. I love me some Marvel Legend X-Men figures. Very, very strong lineup there in that live stream. Whoa, 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 stop the clock, breaking in here. It's Future Kyle coming back into this video here of all the action figure news this week. And I did get done with this video, and then I went to my work computer, as I usually do, and did some work. And one thing I noticed was an email that came through on an article, an industry article, but I thought it did warrant a little spot in this news video here. And I guess I'll read a little bit of the article here. Walmart CEO, rising theft could drive up prices. An increase in shoplifting at Walmart could result in higher prices and possible store closures. It goes on to say, Target feeling some of those same effects as well. Well, it makes a lot of sense. With things going up in price, there's going to be more people that can't afford what they want to, so you're going to see more theft. And how does this relate to toys and action figures? Well, we all know about Hasbro specifically, pointing the finger at Hasbro. We know about their plastic-free packaging right now, and we know theft is on the rise with that. People taking Build-A-Figure parts out, taking the figure out, replacing, things like that. We're probably going to see more of that, and this article isn't calling out toys specifically, but that's got to be part of it, and I think it all does correlate together. We're going to see more theft, more stuff like that in the toys, action figures. They're not going to be turned over. There's still going to be theft out of there as well. So interesting stuff that Walmart is saying, hey, we're going to have to raise prices to offset that. That's always been the name. Ever since I was a little boy, I remember people at school and stuff, and they try to teach us, DARE, things like that, and say, you don't steal from stores, because if everybody steals, then things cost more. And that is true after all. And that's what we're seeing at Walmart. And they're just throwing it out there saying, hey, we're going to have to raise prices on stuff if the theft comes, if it keeps continuing. So it does make sense. We'll see what happens. Obviously, the action figure is what we really care about out there, and I think there is no doubt we're going to see a rise in that with the plastic-free packaging as it gets even more prevalent in 2023. So an interesting article. Thought I'd call out here in the toy news of the week. So there we go. That is the toy news of the week. I'm looking over my notes if I missed anything. It looks all good. So now we got to turn our attention to album of the week. And this week I've been working my way through a recently released box set. It is the band Kiss. We've all heard Kiss. You wanted the best, you got the best. We know how that goes. But my favorite Kiss album of all time is Creatures of the Night. That is their most heavy metal album. That is my favorite. And Kiss got a lot of good stuff. I like a lot of the years of Kiss. Pretty much every years of all the years of Kiss I've enjoyed, and but Creatures of the Night is my favorite album. So to get a 4 CD box set, quite the feat there going through those. They even got like sound effects in there as extra tracks. They threw the whole kit and caboodle in there, but very cool. Of course, Eric Carr on drums. Love the Eric Carr years as well. So very cool. If you're into Creatures of the Night, you got to check out this box set. One of many box sets released around the holidays that I've been trying to get around to seeing and checking out, but Creatures of the Night's one I could not pass up. So there it is. That's album of the week, Creatures of the Night. Some housekeeping news on the channel. We should have a figure tour very, very soon. It is going to start as a Patreon exclusive. So if you ever wanted to support the channel, now is the time if you want to check out that room tour, or should I say house tour? I don't even know how you'd classify it, as obviously a lot has changed in my collection. I got a ton of stuff, and it's all going to be shown on that video. More to come on that in the future, as well as we might do some more videos around the collection to come. So stay tuned in 2023, and then make sure you subscribe to the channel, as I always do say. Make sure you like this very video. We got videos every single day, and then some. Hardest working man, the James Brown of YouTube. We got videos all the time. We got even more content, like I said, on the Patreon, and that truly is the best way to support the channel and content like this. And don't forget about social media. Sir Paul 64 is where you're going to find me on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. And thank you, Into the AM. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% on some t-shirts over there. Thank you for sponsoring the toy news video this week. And you know what I'm doing? I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling my way into the weekend. And I'll see you guys all real soon.